September 2019. The United Nations General Assembly, New York City. Leaders of nearly 200 nations are listening. And from the podium comes a line of poetry written 2000 years ago in ancient Tamil, Yathum Ore, Yavarum Kilir. Every town is our town. Every person is our kin. His words just reached the entire planet 2000 years later. This is what Purananuru still teaches us. The man who wrote that line was called Kaniyan Pungundranar. He was not only a poet, he was an astronomer, a man who studied the stars. And he lived in an age of constant war, 3 crowns. Endless borders, endless blood, 3 crowns, constant division. And in the middle of it, one astronomer with a stylus. In the middle of all that division, he wrote poem 192. Every town is our town. Every person is our kin. Good and evil do not come from others, he wrote. Pain and relief rise from within. Death is nothing new. We neither celebrate life as sweet nor despise it as bitter. Life, he said, is a raft on a flooding river, moving as the water wills. So the wise neither worship the powerful nor look down on anyone at all. 20 centuries later, we finally have a word for this: perspective. Here is the second teaching. A king wrote it, Pandyan Ilam Peru Valuthi. And he asked the deepest question of all: why does this world keep going? His answer: this world exists because some people refuse to eat alone. Even if they receive the nectar of immortality, they would share it first. They fear disgrace more than death. They give, even when giving costs them everything. The world survives, the king wrote, because such people exist. Look around today. Every crisis, every disaster. Someone shares, someone shows up, someone gives. The king was right. The givers are still holding the world together. Now, the most surprising poem in the entire collection. A king met an old poet named P.C. Antayar, a man of very many years, but his hair held no grey in it at all. The king was amazed. Not one worry lived in his hands, not one line of tension in his face. You have lived so many years, he asked. Why is your hair still black? The old poet smiled and gave an answer science would confirm 2000 years later. My wife is noble, he said. My children are wise and good. My people know my wishes before I speak. My king protects me from all harm. And my town is full of learned, humble, good-hearted people. In other words, I am surrounded by good relationships. So worry never touches me. Modern research says the same thing. Strong relationships keep us healthier and feeling younger. An ancient poet gave the world's oldest answer to stress. Choose your people well. The fourth teaching is harder. but it may be the most powerful. Puranananuru's poets watched mighty kings rise and watched them fall. They saw palaces where music once played, standing silent, swallowed by forest. One poem describes a great king's courtyard, now home only to owls and weeds. Even the greatest conqueror, the poets warned, ends as a handful of dust. Even the greatest conqueror's crown becomes eventually only sand. But they did not write this to make anyone despair. They wrote it as liberation. If nothing lasts, then status, wealth, and grudges lose their grip. What remains is only what you gave and how you lived. So live with honor now. That is the only permanence there is. The fifth teaching returns to where this series began: the mother on the battlefield. She searched the field fearing her son had fled. She found him fallen, facing forward, and she felt more joy than on the day she gave him birth. You do not have to share her world to learn from her strength. Purananuru's people met the worst moments of life standing straight. Grief with dignity, loss with courage, death without terror. That strength is not ancient. It is available to anyone on any hard day. So what does a 2,000-year-old book actually ask of you? 5 things. 1. Belong to the whole world. Every town is your town. 2. Share. The world literally runs on people who refuse to eat alone. 3. Invest in your relationships. They are the oldest medicine on earth. 4. Hold everything lightly. Palaces become forests. Grudges are never worth carrying. 5. When the hard day comes, and it will come, stand straight. No gods demanded any of this. Just human beings 2,000 years ago, watching life closely. That is why the United Nations heard these words in 2019, and why students in Tamil Nadu still recite them today. Not because they are old, because they are true. And with that, our first journey through Purananuru is complete. 10 episodes, one immortal book. But the greatest story in all of Sangam literature is still waiting. A chieftain so generous, he gave his royal chariot to a flower. A friendship so deep, a poet gave the rest of his life to a dead friend. Picture hill so rich with orchards and waterfalls. Poets called it paradise on Tamil soil. And 3 great kings who could not defeat one good man in battle. So they chose betrayal. Next month, the complete saga of Velpari, the greatest chieftain of ancient Tamil Nadu. Subscribe now so you do not miss it. A new ancient story every week. And tell me in one word, which of the 5 teachings will you carry with you?